Hi, I'm Cindy, owner of the Frame and Art Shop in Raleigh, North Carolina. And today we're going to do a video on canvas stretching and framing. We have customers that come in and call with lots of questions. So let's just dive right into it. So when someone comes into the shop, typically they have a canvas rolled up. And so the first type of display that we can mount for you is called a museum wrap. This is when you want the artwork hanging on the walls, no frame. And what we need is a really wide margin on the side after your image. And we wrap it around, we'll put wire on the back, and this is your museum wrap. So the second way is actually the most popular. Everybody's loving this. This is when a customer comes in, and what we'll do is we will take the image and wrap it around the sides. This is called a gallery wrap. And so it could be a large image where you've got plenty of it and you wrap it around, say, an abstract or contemporary piece. Sometimes printing companies will do something called a mirror edge. So your image actually stops at one point and then they mirror that image to the edge, and so you wrap that around. So the cool thing about this type of presentation is you will actually put it into a frame. This is called a floater frame, again, our most popular. And so what you do is you recess that down into that floater and it gives you this look here. I love it because it's just enough space. I usually typically like a 1/4 inch, just enough to get a little feather duster in there. But the great thing about this is you are supporting your artwork and protecting it on the side, on the back, because lots of times we're able to put a piece of foam board on the back of the canvas, which is what I did here. Here we had to do 2 layers because we needed to lift it up a certain amount height. I typically like to have the artwork down about 1/8, sometimes 1/4, depending on how thick the paint is, to protect the image. So that is our most popular way. So some customers will come in with a piece of canvas that has hardly no border. So you might have an image and then maybe like a little 1/2 inch of the canvas. So in instances like that, what we'll do is we'll have to staple it onto the side of the strainer bar. One good thing about doing that is with our stretcher pliers that we use, we are actually able to get the canvas a little bit tighter. So it's kind of like a mattress, bouncing a penny on a mattress. I like it to be super tight. This works when you have a canvas that's got a lot of wrinkles in it. Maybe it's got some damage to it. And so we're just able to get that tighter stretch when we staple on the sides. Now, of course, when you got staples on the sides, you got to put a frame around it because it's not going to look right. And so what we chose here on this piece is we did this deep bevel here. And presented it like that. So, I mean, that looks super good. And even a plus on that, we were actually able to put a piece of foam board behind it. So you've got this canvas super protected all the way around. So sometimes people will bring in a canvas that is just very inexpensive, and or they want to mat it. They want to give it more of a wow and make it larger. So what we can do is we can take a canvas and dry mount it down to a piece of mount core. We do have to use heat, so we have to get your signature. Now, you would never do this on an original piece of art, signed, you know, that piece of art that you got on the street in, you know, Italy. It is for artwork that is inexpensive. So say someone brings in a piece of artwork, you know, it's a $20, $30 piece of artwork, and they want to give it the wow factor. So what we can do on that, so here we have dry mounted it and put a mat on it with a frame. Now, whenever you put the mat on it, you do have to use glass because you've got to protect that mat. So those are the different types of mounting. So when we're mounting, we use it's called a strainer, and it's a bare wood, no stains, and the raw wood. What we'll do is we will wrap it with it's called a metal tape. So I taped this on there just so you could see it, but basically the metal tape is on the other side, and we'll wrap that frame with that to keep the artwork from touching the acidic frame. If you notice, all strainers have got this little rounded edge. The purpose of that is for the canvas to lift up off of the frame. Want to create that little bit of air pocket in there to keep mold and mildew from happening over long terms. So we do a support bar on anything over 36, or sometimes when I do a thinner stretcher bar. That is going to keep us from bowing the top bows. So this is a piece here that we're actually doing today. So we have got the metal tape wrapped around, we've got our support bar. So if we did not have a support bar here in the middle, when I go to stretch this canvas, this top bar can bow down. We have seen that happen. Customers will bring something in already stretched, and we go to put the perfectly square frame on it, and we find that the bars are bowed. So on larger pieces, I'll do 3, 4, and even 5 of those. We have lots of the strainer bars. This is just probably a third of the selection that we have to choose from. One other note is when you do a regular frame, what we will do is we will line the inside of the frame with the acid-free metal tape, and then we will also put in a little padding here. It's called Valera tape, and it's a very 1/4 inch padding because your original art can stick to the inside edges of your frame. So I hope you learned something today. If you have more questions, please feel free to give us a call, 919-872-6312. You can always shoot me an email at frameandartshop@gmail. And then our website has got a whole page on canvas framing techniques and different examples, and that's frameandartshop.com. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.